Howdy, fellow YouTubers. My name is BobStraitFTW, and today I've been playing a lot of Destiny. For yes, the game has come, and I have done almost everything there is to do, but it's still entertaining. Has a buttload of replayability. I put about 27 hours into the game, and I have sufficiently done everything that there is to do, essentially. Now you just gotta get all the things that you can get. I have some gripes about the game, and I have some awesome stuff about the game, so let's get to it. Now, the first thing that I'd like to talk about today is there is actually no really lack of content. I was just thinking there would be a lot more, seeing as how much money and how much time Bungie spent on this game. It feels like it could have gone a lot longer than it actually did. Now, right now, there are only 4 planets, or the moon isn't a planet, but you know what I mean. There are only 4 areas that you can get to in the game, and I thought there would be a whole lot more than that. The fact that Earth takes place in Old Russia, the fact that they had Old Russia in front of that made me think like, oh, they're gonna have multiple different parts on Earth, but that's really not the case. If you played the beta and got all the way through the beta, well, that's what Earth is. There is no more to Earth, and that really does suck, because that is literally 1/4 of the game that they gave us in the beta, which, you know, that was a lot of fun, a lot of time put into the beta. But the fact that there wasn't any more to that, that was frustrating. Also, in the beta, a lot of the enemies had question marks over their head. Well, those unlock, essentially, when you get to that level, because those are just really high-level enemies. Now, compared to other games that have single-player campaigns, this really isn't a single-player game, but I would consider all those primary missions as a single-player playthrough type scenario that you can play with your friends, of course, but I'm just gonna use that comparison. And if you do compare that online multiplayer / single player experience compared to a normal game that has a single player or a campaign, well, this does have a really long campaign, and I'm probably biased towards that because I've played so much of this game that I've done almost everything, and I'm not starting to get bored because I go back and I play all the different missions, and they have so much stuff that you can do each day. They have different strikes that you do, and you get different rewards, and the fact that, you know, you buy more gear to make your dude better, that is an aspect that I really love of the game. And by far my least favorite aspect of the game is that there just wasn't enough. Now, do note that Bungie has a lot of plans to release DLC in the future, and actually in somewhere around 2 months, they're going to release a brand new expansion pack for the game, and I really do hope it comes with, I hope it's another Destiny, because if it's just like one little mission or one planet, I might be upset by that, because there really is, if you've played the game for more than like 20 hours, there's not much for you to do other than the same missions over and over, getting different rewards. Now, the Crucible is the PvP aspect of this game, which does add a lot of longevity to the game, but to be honest, it's not as fun as I would have hoped it to be. I really do enjoy the PvE part of Destiny, the player versus environment, but the PvP does feel like it's missing something. I'm not sure exactly what, but I don't know how I feel exactly about the Crucible, but I definitely do kind of have a sour taste in my mouth. No homo. So if you were looking for a game that has hundreds and hundreds of hours of replayability of the main storyline, you may be disappointed from Destiny. But that doesn't mean that you can't. I mean, it's more of like a playing with friends game. If you play alone, I can imagine this game getting very repetitive. But if you do have friends to play with, this game can be a ball. So one of the things that you can do in Battlefield, Jesus. So one of the things that you can do in this game is buy legendary gear, and this legendary gear is really hard to obtain, and personally I'm going for the Vanguard stuff, and to get the Vanguard stuff, one, you have to level up your Vanguard. That you have no problem with, but that's just time. But the other aspect of buying stuff from the Vanguard, the legendary gear or item, whatever, is that you have to use these things called marks, and it's not like the normal currency. You have to work really hard for your mark. Now, one of the stupid things that Destiny did, and I'm not sure why, is they put a cap on how many you can get in a week. You can only get 100 marks in a week. Whether that be from the Vanguard or Crucible, it doesn't matter. Each one you can only get 100 of, which I find very free play-esque. This is something that would be implemented in a free-to-play so that, you know, you pay $5 here and you can earn more. This is something that they do not need to do, and they need to get rid of this. This is something in the game that is gonna make people bored and stop playing. The fact that you can only get 100, and some of the gear cost 175 marks. This is outrageous. That means to get almost any piece of gear, you have to wait 2 weeks. And in games that you pay $90 for, that's how much I paid, I shouldn't have to wait for shit. Now, the only reason that I can come up with of why they would possibly do this is to limit how much legendary gear someone can get in an allotted amount of time. And in doing so, you're not really helping the game's economy in any way. You're not helping anything. You're not fixing a problem. You created a problem. As I said before, this is something that a free-to-play would implement, to put a paywall in front of you. And if that's the way that Destiny's gonna be from now on, I'm not sure I want to play it. They're limiting players from playing how they want to play. They're forcing players into doing other things, and some players just don't want to do that. It's okay to entice people to do something else, but to force them to do something else is really excluding a major portion of the people who bought your game. So one of the other aspects that I wasn't really happy with is that the maximum level cap is actually 20. To level up past there, you have to find armor that has an aspect on it called light. It's like discipline or intellect or strength that goes on. It'll just have another thing that says light, and you basically collect armor pieces that have this light, and you go up to your light levels. And I think the maximum light level you could possibly get to is somewhere around 30. And that's still like nowhere where I thought it'd be, where 20 hours into the game I've hit the max rank, which is crazy for a game like this. I thought it was gonna be how a lot of people on the internet, essentially, I'm not sure if if Bungie had anything to say about this, but the way I understood it was that all the gear and everything like that is gonna stop at rank 20, but your character can level up to like a level 100 or level whatever. Is that you basically never actually stopped leveling up, because leveling is a quick and easy way to see who has more experience in the game. Now, I know that's kind of a stupid gripe, and the majority of people won't even care about it, but I do. This is something that I love in video games, and it's what keeps me interested in video games past the time that I was supposed to stop playing it. Now, this hasn't stopped me in the past. I mean, I have well over 700 hours in Battlefield 4, and I still play that to this day. I played it yesterday. But what keeps me coming back to that game is that there's always something to achieve. My goal in Battlefield 4 was, and it's probably never going to happen, was to get mastery rank in all the weapons. And I feel like Destiny kind of has that in a way. You know, you keep playing and you keep earning better gear, and you will always earn better gear until a point. There will come a point in the game where you can't earn anything else, and I am not looking forward to that day. When that day comes, you know, what else is there to keep me playing? Now, that probably will be like a year or two down the road, but Bungie has expected this game to run for 10 years, and they better have some good-ass plans. Now, given enough time, I could probably do what I said in Battlefield 4 to master every weapon, even the pistols. But then again, I've already gotten 700 hours out of that game, and out of the $110 that I put into that game, that is a huge return. Huge money per hour that I've gotten out of that game, and that is great. I was kind of hoping for that out of Destiny. I usually don't go out and buy video games. I play the free ones that we get for Plus, but I normally don't go out and buy video games. And Destiny was a game that I was thinking I could get 700 hours of play out of it, but with the way that it's going, I'm probably not going to be able to get that, and that kind of saddens me. But I have a friend who always told me, if you can get 1 hour for every $1 that you spent on the game, that game was worth it, because what other thing can you do that for 1 hour you get $1 worth of entertainment? Entertainment. One of the things that I really do love about this game is the fire team aspect. It keeps you in a group forever, no matter what you do. It's a great system, and I really do love it. I wish every game had this kind of system where you do this, you do that, you lose connection, you're back in 5 seconds. It is a great feature of this game, and I would highly suggest every other game in the history of history create something like this, especially Battlefield. Now, one of the cool things that not a whole lot of people know about this game is that if you use in-game comms, if you hit options, go over to settings, and down at the bottom left you go to voice, put that to speakers only, the microphones in-game sound so awesome. It makes you feel like you're there. When you are close to someone, it has a relationship thing in your headset so that, you know, if someone's on your right, you can hear them to your right. If you move too far away from someone, it moves to a radio sound. It just immerses you in this game, and I love that feature. There isn't a time where we're using party chat. It's always in-game. It is so fantastic. Customizability is a big issue in a lot of games these days, and this game has a massive amount of customizability. If you want your character to look like a clown, you can make your character look like a clown. There are shaders that will do that. In fact, I have a shader called Jouster. So each class has their own little special thing. The Titan has a belt, the Warlock has an armband, and the Hunter, I think, has the coolest one as a cloak or a cape. There are a multitude of things that you can do with all of these special awesome things, and the fact that you're constantly upgrading your dude with better armor, better looking armor, just all in all, you're constantly having to change what you're using because something better comes along. Now, there does come a point towards the end of the game where you keep getting the same stuff over and over. You keep getting rare items, and they're not really better, they're just different. And you know, you use different stuff for different weapons. Each piece of armor does something special just for that armor, and you do kind of get into this slump where you don't actually get a whole lot of stuff all the time like you used to. But for the first 20 hours, hells yeah! I wonder how much higher I can go. That is all I really have to say about the game. If you have any questions, please put your question in your comment in the comment section below, and I will read it and answer it. Don't forget to put the word, let's see, if you made it to this part of the commentary, put the word common in your comment in the comment section below, so that I know that you watched the video all the way to the end. Why the word common? Because you find a lot of common gear in Destiny, and you just kind of dismantle it and get your glimmer, and you go on with your day. I don't call them glimmer, I call them gloobs. Why, you may ask? That's the one question I won't answer. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, it really helped me and my channel out. That is all. One of the choppers hit the bridge.